Lauren decided that we needed a new family holiday. This is Goat Day, and it's been put in the family calendar to celebrate the official welcoming of our goat herd. In honor of this occasion, Lauren painted a barn quilt to adorn our goat barn. Javana picked out the pattern, and Lauren did a fantastic job on it. All you gotta do is put it in here and put forward pressure on it. Pull it in. Yep. Easy does it there. There's a lot of different things you gotta push in, and you gotta go gently with the trigger leg so it moves like that. There we go. That one seems okay. That one seems okay. And I'll put 2 more of them in there.
Okay. Thank you for doing that fine. It's gorgeous.
Well, we have hail, we have all the earmarks of tornado weather washing across us, and we're watching wind go every direction. It rolled in this way, and now it's blowing this way. We watched the rotations coming across here, but it was, you know, not powerful. Almost as fast as that crazy storm rolled in, it rolled back out, and it left a beautiful rainbow for us. Quite a way to cap off our first full day with the goats. All right. I'm having trouble operating the camera today because I thought I was filming, but apparently I wasn't. I am over here at the edge of the goat pen. I'm trying to set up this Premier One flexible mesh fence line. I've never done this before. Obviously I can't have it touching here because it'll short it out, round it out, whatever. But I need to get this tied off to here in a couple of places so that they can't squeeze between it. And so that if they try, they catch a shock and they'll stop. Again, that is the theory. All right, I think that'll hold it up there. Let's see if I can't start standing this thing up. I've got the fence out now. Had to zigzag at the end, but I've got 600 feet of mesh netting. Got a, I think it's a 42 inch and a 35 inch, but 2 different brands. You got to get what you can find. What I'm doing now is I'm just going through and I'm pulling pokeweed. There's 2 varieties of pokeweed. It's not a good thing for the goats to eat. If you've ever seen it, it's got a almost looks like a milkweed kind of stalk, but it's thick, about that thick, reddish. It can get fairly thick when it gets tall. It's got these purple berries. When I was a kid, we used to call them stain berries because if you got anywhere near it, it got all over your clothes. Any clothes were pretty much ruined, but that is pokeberry, and believe it or not, settlers used to eat that. It's toxic. They would boil it, throw the water away, and then boil it again and throw the water away and put it into a pie and mix it with other foods. That is when you know you are desperate for your calories, when you are boiling something toxic to try to make it edible. I spend my time trying to come up with ways to avoid eating. We live in a land and time of plenty. Well, I've got the fence set up. Got a little zigzag at the end. I had to use up the material, so I had all the fence used up, and I'm going to put the grounding rod right over here. I'm sure getting it out is going to be a chore whenever we decide we need to move it, but uh-oh, I got a herd of goats on me. What are you doing, ladies? What are you doing? I don't think they're going to try to run this gap. And I think since this is only 35 inches, what I'm going to do is just turn the fence off when I step over it so that I can do what I have to do on the inside. I will be buying the gate that Premier One makes, but it was out of stock. Apparently it's been out of stock for a little while. Here's something. This is the Starkline brand, and it ships with, one side of it has a coating of plastic on it. So you're not going to get a good contact with that. You need to take that off. And it peels right off. I noticed it as I was putting clips together when I was trying to connect the two pieces of fence. And if you do that, there's a good chance your fence isn't going to work, at least not properly. I'm going to set my charger right here. It'll be collecting sun during the day. My negative gets connected to the ground over here, right like that. And my positive gets connected to the fence, just like that. Now, first thing I got to do is I want to go over here and test this. So I've got a tester. Got my little tester. Take the probe into the ground, right there. I have not yet turned on my fence, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I think that I've got it hooked up properly, everything wire-wise. I can hear it ticking. You should see a little green flash in there, a little light. Yep, little green light inside. All right, I've got the probe in the ground. I'm supposed to stick this here. 7.7, 8, 7.7, 7.7. Now, I believe that is thousands of volts. Yep, it measures it in kilovolts. So that thing's kicking out 7 and 8,000 volts. We're going to go up to the next fence after it connects here. We're going to test it all the way around and make sure that it's got plenty of voltage. They would say to keep it above 3,000. So if it's got above 3,000, we should be good. These are goats. Ideally, I'd like it above 5,000 all the way around. I bought the largest solar charger that Premier One sells. It's the 180, I think it is, but it's a 1.8 joules. It's not the largest solar charger you can get. I've got a 5 joule charger in the orchard, and I could put something like that together, but at a certain point, it stops being portable. All right, there's a connection right there. So we're gonna stick the probe in the ground, see what we're looking like on the other side of the connection. 7.4, so we lost a little bit. 7.4, 7.3. All right, keep on going. You got my bag of weeds that I don't want the goats to eat, and I got a whole pile of them that I threw over there, hoping that we get a decent snow this year so I feel comfortable getting rid of this burn pile, because it would be real nice to smooth out the ashes into this field, scarify this field, and actually have a relatively smooth field out here in front of the house. So here's my other connection right here. I went ahead and peeled off that plastic. Close that thing. 7.4, still kicking. 7.4, 7.5. I got to be careful coming through here because I'm getting kind of close to that fence. I am not trying to get myself an education today. I've been really fortunate in that the fence we've got set up for the orchard, I've only gotten hit by it one time, and that was through a glove, and it was very light contact to it, and it got my attention, but I know that I got a very light dose. Well, this is the last one right here. There's the connection. So, and what do we got here? 7.5, 7.1, 7.3. I'm gonna call that good. I'm gonna go over here on the other side. I'm gonna turn this thing off, open that gate, and introduce these ladies to this bigger field. And I just want to give them a change of pace, and you'd be amazed at how much 4 little goats can poop. And there's a ton of goat poop in there. And I'd rather get them up here for about a month and then change it around and get them further down that way, so that the load of parasites they're exposed to is not overwhelming at any one time. So the plan, according to everything that I've read, is that I'm gonna get them out here. They're still gonna be going in and out of their main pen, but we'll get them out here working this field for a while, and they can enjoy some of these weeds and some of that blackberry right there, and work on this. And then after about a month, we'll move them. On the other side of that fence, we'll just change the way it's set up. Move them over there, let them be there for a month. Be a lot of fertilizer going into the soil. It will have them work in the weeds, and will help us figure out how we're going to approach this, what we're going to do as far as where we want to put the permanent fence eventually. But we're not going to do any more permanent fence for a little while, because we're going to use this perma fence, and I'll probably get a couple more lines of it so that we know where it works for us. What, you know, I might regret the way we've got this set up here after a while and wish that I'd made it bigger or a different shape or something, but I'm going to turn this thing off to make sure I don't get lit up. And since I'm new to it, I'm even going to test it. No voltage, no nothing, no dancing, no silliness. I'm going to throw the gate open and expose them to a whole new world. Hey ladies, you gonna come out here, huh? Hey, come on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, come on over this way. Come on this way. Come check it out. Got a little more room. You can spread out just a little bit. Stay off the fence. I feel for you, because I know the only way you're going to learn that fence is when I plug it in. You're going to find out it is not friendly. Only one way to do it, and I'm going to jump over here and do it. And we're back on. We are hot. Yes, we are. I don't want none of that. It is all set up. We are running some hot fence here, and the ladies are able to get around and get some new digs. Very nice. I'm pretty happy about that. That wasn't too bad. Now I'm leaving the gate open for them to get back in there, because I don't have any temporary shelters set up yet. We're going to have some teepees and some things that we can move around. Try and make them properly sized for 4 to 8 goats, but since I don't anticipate the herd growing too much in the next year, we want to be able to move it around with the tractor, pull it around. We'll come up with some designs that work for us, and that we're, oh, I am so sorry, Shalom. She got hit. She touched the fence. They'll learn. They will learn that the fence hurts, and they will not challenge the fence. They will stay off of it. And that will keep them safe, and it also hurts, and it will keep other animals out. Don't touch it. Don't touch the fence. Don't touch the fence. God, don't touch it. I'm gonna leave. I'm just gonna go up to the house, because I feel like I'm suckering them into coming over to the edge of the fence, and I'd rather they were just over there enjoying some of these weeds and not getting shocked.
If you're new to using mesh electric fence like we are, you probably have researched the heck out of it, just like we did. And you'll come across videos and articles talking about how difficult it is to train the goats to stay inside the electric fence. And they even walk the goats over or pour food along the line to encourage them to get shocked, to make them learn faster. I imagine that if you have a large number of goats, that may be necessary. But for us, with just 4 goats, it took about 3 days of exposure, and they quickly became very respectful of the boundaries enforced by the fence. All we had to do was keep it hot. Your mileage may vary.
You see me being extra cautious over here. And the reason is, this is a little brushy, kind of snaky. And when I say snaky, I'm talking about snakes. And I'm talking about snake skins and snake animals that shed snake skins. That's probably just a black snake, or king snake. It's a snake nonetheless. And if you find one, you might find a different one. And we have copperheads. Further up the mountain, we also have rattlesnakes. Well, if they're further up the mountain, they can come down the mountain. So I'm always on the lookout whenever I'm around here dealing with any of this stuff. We have a lot of plans for this different material that we've got. Never a shortage of things to do. Oh, really? What are you doing? Looking at all the stuff, huh? Yeah. Very curious. Curious goat. See that? First thing, jump up on it. I haven't even set it up yet. You're already on it. It's kind of hard for me to set it up. Put it up here on this little pile of rocks and up on this brick. Yeah, I know. It's not fancy, but it's something. I'm trying to think if you should have a wobble board to walk on, or if you should have it flat and try to come up the other side of it. Yeah. There we go. I might need to keep an eye on you. That's a success. Well, good morning. This is how the routine is beginning to build itself. Come down in the morning, it's usually not me. I'm usually still sitting in bed with a cup of coffee, watching all this unfold through the window. But Jafana will come down here, make sure that the electric fence is off. Eventually I'll have a fence gate here that gets us through. Like a lot of things, you don't know what you need until you get into this kind of thing, and we start to find out that we need to change some of the infrastructure just a little bit. Come over here and check on the girls. They're probably still just kind of sitting in the hay. Well, hello, ladies. Just waking up? Hello. Good morning. Not very vocal yet. Finding their way out. Hey, Twiggy. Inez does not like to be touched at all. Some of these fasteners are just temporary because we had to get things set up to get them in here. I still need to come out this coming weekend and do some finish work on here, get all the corners tidied up, make sure nothing can squeeze through there. I've probably said it before, but I was kind of shocked by the amount of poop you get out of just 4 goats. So I'm planning on getting a few more over the next few months, but I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of a strategy on how to handle the pen area. I know you clean out the barn on a regular basis. I don't know how you rake up goat poop. I'm gonna have to look that one up. One of the cool things, we're just experimenting with it, trying to figure out how we're gonna lay out this flexible net, is this was really thick with blackberry bush and an overgrown poplar that sprung up here in the field. We're going to keep the poplar, but we didn't want it overgrown so far down, and they have just really cleared it out. It's amazing. So as time goes on, we're going to try and figure out how we can move some of the flexible fence a little bit closer to the road so they can work this hill a little bit, and maybe they can help clean it, keep it tidy for us. I am always amazed to see that an animal can eat thorn bushes. They go after the leaves first. What you doing, Twiggy? What you doing? How you feeling today? It's not a bad routine to have. I don't know what it's going to be like when I've got 10 goats or 20 goats and I've got to deal with all that, but only one way to find out. They've got fresh water. Got fresh hay available if they want it. And now they got an energized fence. Show y'all what I'm doing. All right, you can see I moved the fence a little bit. Jafana came out here and helped me get this straight. I'm just coming around here, checking everything, making sure that we've got good continuity of the fence, and if I can get that in there, that probe in there, making sure that we've got a hot fence. Well, that's 5.9 thousand volts, 6,000 volts. That's pretty good. On this side, what do we got? Pretty good. Not a lot of loss of voltage from one to the next. So I'm pretty happy with that. If they come over here and they challenge the fence, it should get their attention and push them back over that way. They do not like it. They'll get out here. They've figured out to stay away from the fence. They'll get out here and they'll start working their way, getting close to it. One of them will touch it, and they're herd animals. They'll all run all the way back into the barn because that's where they feel safe. Now, I started talking when I went over there and turned the fence charger on just a little while ago. They were all taking a little siesta. They're all snoozing. So I don't blame them because it's 89 degrees and it's humid today. It rained about 2 hours ago. You'd never know it looking around here, but you can feel it in the air. You can see I've got the clips fastened. I've got it tied so that the two poles don't come loose and create an area where they think, oh, I can get out of there. Stick the probe in the ground. That grounds it. And then test the fence. 7,000 volts. 5,000 volts. That'll get your attention. It'll be like that all the way back around. I'll go up and test it at the very end. But usually, unless you've got a break in it, if it's good at one side of it, it's going to be good at the other side of it. But since we have not put them over here yet, I wanted to make sure that it's nice and hot. We figured we would use those little poplar trees over there. I'll show you when I get over there. Well, they're chomping at the bit to get back out here. I'm gonna turn this off, test it with my hand, because I'd much rather get shocked with my hand than my saddle. We got these two poplar trees right over here, and before I just cut a path with the mower, and then I cut around this and set the fence behind it because I wanted to see what kind of an impact they could have over here. And you can see all these branches that are bare were covered with leaves just like that. This patch right here was a bunch of blackberry, and they've picked that clean. So that tells us that even though it's just 4 goats, they can have a pretty big impact on that. And I want to see if they can do anything to help keep this hill clear, because if they can, then that means I can move the fence on a regular basis, and I don't have to get in there with a weed eater and try to cut down the stuff that's, you know, all the blackberries and thorn and other stuff that's growing there, and I don't have to mess with it with a mower from the top. It's kind of dangerous. So being able to have them do that, also they get nutrition from it, they get all the fiber and other stuff they need to keep the biome good. So anything like that that works in our advantage is a win. They're sitting there turning that into meat, and I don't have to get out here and swing a weed eater at it. I'm gonna open this up. They've only had access to this, I think, 5 or 6 days. I'll have to double check when I set it up the first time, but they have not been able to get out here for very long. I'm gonna give them a couple more days being able to get out there, and then we're going to move it over to this side and set something up so they have some access over there, and kind of change the way the parasite load affects them. Then we'll swing something where we set the fence going around either that direction or around that direction going around the other side of the pen. That'll give us 3, and when we think we've got a handle on it, we're going to try to figure out how to get them across the road, across the driveway. There's lots of areas over there we'd really like them to work. All right, ladies, you ready? Come on. Interested to see when they discover that area over there to the side. What's wrong, Twiggy? She's hoping that I've got some grain. Hey, sweetie. Come here, Shalom. Nope, not having it. Well, they've got slightly new area to explore. To keep them from doing anything stupid, I'm gonna step over this fence and fire it back up. Now this rain might chase them right back in there. They're running back in because the rain's starting to hit them, and they do not like the rain. Don't do it. You'll be sorry. That's Inez. That's Inez being vocal right now. Margot's the leader. She decided that they're going back because the rain hit her. And off they go.
I just want to say thanks for hanging out with us for a little while. We appreciate those who've been following along with us, and we're happy to share this happiness that we've got with our new herd. We hope to see you back here again.